Hello and welcome back to another Millennial Minute. I'm David Grasso. The conservative-friendly social media platform Parler is back. But is there a future for conservatives on social media? Here to weigh in are friends of the show, AJ Swinson and Christian Watson. So we heard from you right off the top. AJ, Parler had some issues, obviously. It wasn't perfect. Can you tell our audience a little bit about those?
Well, Parler, Twitter, and other organizations felt that they weren't taking things down quickly enough, which, funny enough, they gave Twitter a long time to get better at moderating content. That Parler was up for a year, and they're saying, oh, you need to do this better. We're not giving you any chance to fix this situation. So it was honestly an unfair standard. Was Parler perfect? No, but neither is Twitter, even today. So I don't understand that unfair standard.
So, Christian, one of the interesting things about deplatforming is right now it's happening to conservatives, but a lot of people think it's going to happen to liberals as well eventually, and that this is just kind of the pilot project. Would you agree?
Yeah, and it already has happened to liberals. I mean, there have been several certain left-wing social justice groups that have been deplatformed several over the past few weeks. And when that happened, conservatives actually ironically said, hey, look, it's happening to you guys too. How do you feel? So really, I think that it's really a double-edged sword that should be avoided. And I think content moderation should come down to this. Is someone saying something that is going to incite violence or is going to advocate for violence? If not, if they're simply using a very divergent political opinion, they shouldn't be punished. They shouldn't be censored. But, it applies to both sides. And unfortunately, both sides are getting hit hard by this thing.
So, AJ, how do we solve this problem from a government point of view? You're over there in Washington because a lot of people are skeptical about the government wading in on this, right? Because is regulation the answer? Is less regulation? I don't know if there's an easy answer to specifically Section 230, which enables, social media platforms to be who they are legally.
I agree. I mean, many conservatives, including President Trump, former President Trump, called for, removing Section 230, removing protections, but that would also remove those protections from Parler, by the way. So that's not a good option. The best option to correct something is the free market. You can say, I don't like the way that you do business, and I'm not going to support Twitter. Twitter's stock actually went down. Facebook, a lot of these different organizations had issues with financially being hurt by people being upset by the way that they were censoring. And that's the way that you solve this. If you can't do the job well, we'll find someone else who does. This isn't an opportunity for the government to step in and take over social media.
Yeah, Christian, you're saying stay on these platforms and fight like hell. We're on all these platforms. In fact, you're watching this on one of these platforms. How do you do that? Or is everyone subject to the whims of deplatforming depending on which way the wind is blowing?
Yeah, I think deplatforming is a real issue. But I mean, I'm heartened when instances like Jack Dorsey, going on Twitter after he deplatformed President Trump and after his stock went down like a lot, he basically said, look, we are trying to make this a free speech platform, but X, Y, and Z. Now, of course, many folks thought that Jack was doing a cop-out, and he was doing a cop-out, but that shows that Silicon Valley executives do care about how well their stock performs. And a lot of people on these platforms are right-leaning, and a lot of people don't mind stepping away for a few seconds to make them feel the pain, then coming back when they're a little bit more appeased to. So that's what you do. You really, whenever Twitter or Facebook doesn't like this, you simply show them, hey, we don't have to stay here. You go away for a little bit, you come back, of course. You don't leave entirely. The Parler problem is that people take all their toys and go to a different playpen. That's not how you win. You show them, you make them hurt, then you go back so that they continue to need you and your consumership.
Well, that's great advice. As usual, Christian and AJ, all the best to you and your families.
Thanks.
Thank you.
And on that note, thank you for watching Bold TV. Hopefully this video doesn't get us deplatformed. In the meantime, follow us at Bold TV. Until next time, I'm David Grasso.